Hello everyone. Today in this video we'll be talking about how to obtain the visa of Sri Lanka, which is ETA for Indians. It's one of those countries which has everything. Whether you are a couple going for honeymoon, you are a family traveling with adults or even senior citizens, or you are a family traveling with infants. Sri Lanka has it all, from hills to beaches to culture to nightlife. This is one country where, with minimal spend, you get almost everything. So let's get started on how to obtain the e-visa for Indians. Currently, if I talk about the process, it is fairly a simple process with, getting to a website, given some of the details with which you are traveling, and waiting, and you generally get the ETA within 24 hours. The only catch right now is there are a lot of websites out there which kind of, charge you money, but for Indians, uh, the visa is free of cost. So make sure you're going to the correct website. The website link is in the description as well. Okay, so let's get started. From 2026 May, for 40 countries, processes ETA is free of charge, as I've already told, for the 30 days of travel. So one of them is India, and we'll be covering in terms of what we'll be doing or the process of how to obtain e-visa from India. Make sure, again, iterating that this is free of charge, so you shouldn't pay any money. So this is the website eta.gov.lk/SL visa. There are a lot of options which you can see in terms of selecting a language. I'll select English as I want to proceed with the language English, but there are other options as well, including Hindi. Here you can see what is an ETA and things like that. And on top, you can see an option is apply. The moment you click on apply, you go to a next page or a different tab where you have to agree to some terms and conditions. Make sure you read through all of those in terms of uh, whatever documentation is needed or whatever information is needed. Say I agree and move forward. The process again is simple: submit application, review application, payment options, and ETA confirmation. You have option to apply for an individual, as a group, or a third party. I'm selecting as an individual because I'm doing it as an individual. But if you are traveling as a family, make sure to apply as a group because it's easier. As soon as you click on apply as an individual or apply as a group, it starts asking you for some of the information in terms of your name and things like that. This is step one in terms of whatever information you have to give. So it's asking for the name, your date of birth. uh, Make sure that the date of birth you are giving is the same date of birth which is on the passport as well, because that might get checked during immigration, right? It talks about your gender, your nationality, and things like that. By the time I'm filling in this information, I would also like to call out, if you're traveling with an infant or a minor, make sure you apply as a group, because getting in ETA as a group for infants who cannot talk about the proof of funds, or who cannot talk about the funds they have, this is really applying as a group really comes in handy, right? So it talks about the occupation as well, for the because I'm applying individually, so of course my occupation, passport numbers, and things like that. If you're applying as a group, it asks you in terms of cities. So submit application for tourist number one, submit application for tourist number two. So yes, of course you have to give in all the information for all the people who are traveling, but for minors and infants, it's easier if it gets applied with parents, because then there is one less worry in terms of making sure how do you how those minors or those kids are financing themselves. So here you can see I am giving the passport issue date, the passport expiry date. Now, of course, all this information which have been asked till now is easily available on your passport as well, so you don't have to worry if the child information is in parents passport or not. So if children are under 16 years of age, we have to make sure that we are submitting separate applications. Given I'm not traveling with anyone, so I'll skip that. Where have you been during the last 14 days? So just to make sure that you're not traveling from a country where there is some epidemic going on or things like that. For how many days the visa is required, there's just one option. Intended arrival date in terms of when you will be actually reaching Sri Lanka. The purpose of the visit, that why will you be traveling. Again, for purpose of visit, I am selecting tourism, but there are a lot of other options as well in terms of if you're going for pilgrimage, if you're going for wedding, things like that. So I'm selecting sightseeing and holiday. the port of departure as in from where you'll be traveling to, the airline or vessel as in the flight, is it Air India, is it Indigo, whatever you have booked. And then it talks about the flight or vessel number. So make sure you have a valid ticket before starting this process so that you can give in your flight and vessel number. Flight and vessel number of course will be on your ticket, so it's easily available, but make sure you're giving in the right information. Then it talks about the contact details in terms of where you live, your postal code, your city, your address. Then it also asks about the address in Sri Lanka. So if you are traveling to a relative's house, to make sure you give in that. Otherwise, it will be your Airbnb address or your hotel address. Post that comes email address. Make sure you're giving the right email address because you get a link on your email address to verify, as well as you also get the confirmation email or any other communications later on this particular. Do you have a valid residence to Sri Lanka? No. Are you currently in Sri Lanka with valid ETA and asking for extension? No. Do you have multiple entry visa? So you can say yes or no, right? I say this information is correct and click on next. If you are requesting for a multiple entry visa, make sure you mark it as yes. Given I'm only traveling it for single entry, I'm asking it no, but for multiple entry as well, it will not ask you for any other information or any other detail. Okay, so the moment you click on next, you go to the next information in terms of whatever you have filled. You first have to review. Then you can see the application fee is $0 USD, so make sure you're not paying again. Then I said okay, I can confirm these details are correct and move on to the next page. There are a lot of websites out there which are asking for a lot of information and money, so make sure that you're filling it from the right website. Get a reference number here, the charged amount and all that. You can always go to this website to check the status of the application. You don't have to even worry about actually taking a note of this, because on your registered email you get this link, or you get an information saying you know directly checking your application status via that particular website. So here on checking, you just have to enter your confirmation code, your passport number, nothing else, and you can totally check it. So if you look here, I got an email as an acknowledgement saying that yes, we have received, or the Department of Immigration has received your reference number, and it will be processed, or you'll receive a response within 24 hours. So yes, you get it within a day. You just enter your details of your passport and things like that, and then you can just click on status within those 24 hours to check. And you also get an email, by the way, if the application status has changed, saying that you can come again to this website and check the application status. So you can see this is the kind of email which comes to that we have given you a response in terms of your application. Just come back and see how the application, or what is the status of the application. So it's very simple. You don't even have to submit any documents as such. Just make sure that the entry, port of entry, the vessel number, and all that is correct. And that is it. This is as simple as, the ETA can get. And as I said, Sri Lanka is a beautiful country. So make sure you go and explore it. Happy travel. Thanks, everyone.